Hey pals, welcome back to 100 miles, 100 days on a $100 treadmill. I'm Tanya, that's my fat cat Jim, and we're ready to get walking, so let's go. All right pals, let's get this going. Ready for the countdown? Come on everybody, here we go. And let's ramp it up. How's everybody doing today? Sorry about the late post last night. I've gotten a new computer, and because my old one wouldn't quite handle all of the software for editing, and so I've gotten a new one and just trying to get used to it, and it's got a little bit of a different operating system, and so yeah, it ate one of my files last night and I couldn't quite get everything put together at a reasonable time. So sorry about that, but back to it today, and hopefully we'll be able to get things edited on the new computer today and see what that looks like. So got the new computer, got the new lighting rigs. We're moving up in the world. Glad you guys are coming along with me on this day 31. And it's a little, having one of those days where I didn't really want to get up and do this today, but as I have heard from many of you, you guys get up and do this with me. So I will continue getting up and doing this with you. It's good motivation. Yeah, I'm glad I made the commitment so that I could stay accountable to you guys. And yeah, my hair is shedding on me today. Well, let's see. I just got an email from Disneyland saying that my trip is right around the corner, so that's fun. So they they do that with your trips. They email you confirmations. They they email you like kind of like reminders of make sure you've got all of these things done and ready to go. So using that app is really helpful in a lot of ways for planning your trip. That was one of the things I forgot to tell you about yesterday with when you're booking your reservation for the park, is that each one of those dates when you reserve which park you're starting in, you get in like a separate email confirmation for each one of those. So because I made a reservation so I got 4 emails because I made a reservation for myself for the 15th, made a reservation for Chris for the 15th, and then I made a reservation for each of us on the 17th. So I got an email confirming each one of those because you remember we have to book each individual day. And you can go in and change those. It's pretty easy to do. You just need to know that you can't change your booking on the day. I think it tells you it's either a 24 or a 48-hour period that you need to have if you are, like say I wanted to go tomorrow, but I have a reservation for the following day. As long as it's within that 24-hour period that I would be going, then I can change that reservation to whatever day I want to. Otherwise, you're stuck with that reservation. So I think you can always call customer service and figure out a way around those things. But we did that on our last trip, where we decided that we wanted to start in a different park on a different day and changed our reservations while we were on vacation. So it was really easy to do. But what I wanted to do today is actually look at, I'm going to go ahead and start a screen recording like normal. So we're going to open the Disneyland app. And it'll take us to that landing page. We're just going to scroll down past our upcoming plans. And we're going to look at this part that's right in the center here right now that says Disneyland Park, Sunday, January 4th, 8 a.m. to 12 a.m. Today's show times. So this is telling you the hours, the park hours for today. It'll also show you today's show times. If you click there, which parades are going on, which shows are going on, what time and where. Lots going on in California Adventure right now. But if we go back up and we want to know when the Christmas Fantasy Parade is, and we click on that, it'll take us to a more detailed page, give us the show times, what type of entertainment it is, what to know before you go, and then right there you can click on there and find it on the map. So I don't know why my map is not coming up completely here. Let's try to find it on the map again. There we go. And this shows you the route of the parade. So you can see that it starts way back here by It's a Small World. And it follows that route down between the Matterhorn and the castle, down to the hub, and down to Main Street and around back again. So it passes around the hub there. So that's where you would want to know that route so that you know where to, line up to see the parade. And most people love to line up on Main Street. So if part of your joy is lining up along Main Street to see these parades, have at it. It's a great place to do it. If you want to be in places that have less people, kind of this corridor between the castle and the Matterhorn, right before you get to the teacups. So you leave the hub and right before you get to the teacups, right in here. That's a really good spot to line up for parades. Depending on the time of year, there's a lot of seating right in there, and people will go and wait for hours. But it's a place that I've found is really nice for waiting for parades. There's also this little area right here that's right across from It's a Small World, where you see these two little pavilions. There's a bunch of park benches, and there's steps up, so you could have a little bit of a higher view, and steps down so that you can have a lower view. The Paint the Night Parade that we filmed was right in this area. We were at one of the lower park benches when I filmed that. So That's how we got that great view of the parade coming up this entire area here. So you can do that for each one of these attractions, or what do they call them? Each one of these pieces of entertainment, where you can go and find the details of the time and find it on the map where it's happening. Also, what you can do is you can click on the fun wheel and see that today the times for Disney California Adventure are from 8 to 10. So California Adventure is always closes at least an hour before Disneyland. There's a few exceptions, like during Oogie Boogie, that they might close at the same time. But in general, DCA closes about an hour before Disneyland. And actually what I'm showing you right there is that DCA closes 2 hours before Disneyland. So that does make a park hopper a little bit more useful. You've got another 2 hours of park time that you could have in Disneyland today. So the other thing I'm going to do is down in that same box, down in the right, at the right bottom, it says all hours. So we're going to click on that. And this brings up some more detailed information where you've probably heard about how different parks have different early entry times. I thought this was going away in January, so I'm not really sure about this, but it's showing that it's happening today. So if we go back to the top where there's the calendar and we click on that little calendar button, it'll bring up your actual calendar, which you can scroll through, and it's only going to give me, what is that, 60 days in advance that I can look at what the times are for that day. So I can just click on, hey, I want to go on February 14th. What's going on that day? Disneyland will be open from 8 to 11. Disney California will be open from 8 to 9. It also shows you that what downtown Disney's hours are. They usually open before the parks do and close after the parks close. Not everything in downtown Disney is that way, but like the World of Disney store and a couple of other places will be open like that. So it's also going to tell you what's closed for refurbishment during that time. So Star Wars Rise of the Resistance will be closed for refurbishment, and Grizzly River Run will be closed for refurbishment in February. Not sure when Rise of the Resistance is closing and when it comes back, but we'll go to the other Disney website to find out about that at another time. But that's a good thing to know right there, so that you can figure out how late something or what the hours are on the day that you choose. Because that's probably all you needed to know about Disney times. So how about we do a little bit of work on those Valentine ears? Okay, pals, so let's go ahead and get started with the red ears. And I've gotten some thread that I think matches pretty good there. So we'll do the same thing we've done on the other pair. Okay, so just like before, I've got some tails of thread from the seam that we pulled out yesterday. So I'm going to go ahead and tie that into a knot. And then I'm going to leave those tails out for a second while I get my threads started. Actually, yeah. Because we're going to do that invisible seam like we did before. So it's taking the fabric on this side and letting it be folded over. And we're going to put our needle in just on the edge of that fold. And then I'm going to tie it to another one of these tails that we left out. So it's fiddly work because it's just small pieces of thread that we've kept out for this very reason. So now I am locked in there. And I'm going to use my seam ripper to help me tuck all those threads into the opening so that as I'm sewing these sides together, we're going to sew all of those threads into the center. And then I'm just going to do the same thing we did on the last one, and it'll just be doing a little bit of stitching on either side to close this gap. Just like that, so that it's a little hard to see with the sequins, but it's one of the things we'll have to do here with these sequins is kind of just keep manipulating them back inside so that when we're finished, that seam will look like it's supposed to. So you're just catching a little bit of the thread or a little bit of the fabric each time and tucking everything in nicely as you go. A little bit more fiddly than the Haunted Mansion ears were to get sewn up, but just take your time. And you'll notice that if you can see this, where this thread is coming out here, and I'm actually, the next stitch I'm going to do on the opposite side is going to be back a little bit from where that previous stitch is. So I'm always kind of overlapping the stitching so that one is a little bit behind the other when we're doing this invisible stitch. Sequins love to catch everything. All right, so I've got that stitched up pretty well there. You'll see how that just kind of goes invisible. Matches in with the rest of it now. All right, there it is, our 1 mile. Good job, pals. Great work today, pals. Thanks for joining me on day 31 of 100 days, 100 miles on a $100 treadmill. There's my ears. We're going to have to start cycling through some of my old ones again. So have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye, pals. No, I totally forgot what I was saying. Oh, crud.